Stop leaking money through ignorance. Most financial pain doesn't come from dramatic disasters. It comes from neglect, from not paying attention, from assuming things will somehow work out on their own. Money leaks don't announce themselves loudly. They drip quietly. A little here, a little there. Subscriptions you forgot you had. Small daily purchases you never questioned. Convenience fees, interest charges, impulse decisions justified as just this once. Over time, those drips turn into a flood. Ignorance is not a moral failure, it's a habit. And habits can be changed, but awareness must come first. Prosperity begins the moment you decide to look at your financial life honestly, without excuses and without fear, because what you don't face, you can't fix, and what you ignore will always grow worse. Many people say, I don't need to track my money, I know where it goes. But if that were true, there wouldn't be confusion at the end of every month. There wouldn't be stress when bills arrive. There wouldn't be that quiet question, where did it all go? The truth is, clarity creates control. The moment you understand where your money flows, you begin to regain power over your future. This isn't about restriction, it's about respect. Respect for the hours you worked to earn that money. Respect for the sacrifices you made. Respect for the future you claim you want. Every dollar you earn represents a piece of your life's energy. When you spend blindly, you trade your time for things that may not even matter to you. Awareness changes behavior naturally. When you start paying attention, waste becomes uncomfortable. You begin to ask better questions. Do I really need this? Is this adding value to my life or just noise? Those questions don't limit you, they liberate you. Because once money stops leaking, progress finally becomes possible. Learn to pay yourself first. After awareness comes intention. And this is where most people get it backward. They say, I'll save when I have extra. But extra never shows up. Expenses expand, emergencies appear, desires multiply. If you wait until the end of the month to value your future will always be last in line. Paying yourself first is not about the amount, it's about the order. It's a declaration that your future matters, that tomorrow deserves consideration today, even if it's a small percentage, even if it feels insignificant. What matters is consistency, because consistency builds identity. You stop being someone who hopes to be financially secure and become someone who acts like it. This habit rewires your thinking. Instead of asking, can I afford to save? You begin asking, how can I live on what's left? That single shift changes everything. It forces creativity. It builds discipline. It teaches you to prioritize long-term stability over short-term comfort. Saving first also builds emotional security. Knowing that you're building a cushion, even slowly, reduces fear. It changes how you make decisions. You stop operating from panic and start operating from preparation. And preparation creates confidence. Confidence creates patience. Patience creates wealth. Some people say, but my income is too small. No income is too small to build the habit. Waiting for more money before developing discipline is like waiting for stronger muscles before going to the gym. The habit must come first. The growth follows. Paying yourself first is an act of self-respect. It says, I believe my life is worth planning. Over time, this simple discipline begins to compound, not just financially, but mentally. You trust yourself more. You follow through. You prove to yourself that you can delay gratification. And that ability to delay, to plan, to stay consistent is the foundation of every great financial turnaround. Control lifestyle inflation before it controls you. One of the most deceptive enemies of wealth doesn't arrive as failure. It arrives as success, a raise, a bonus, a better opportunity, more income, and quietly, without much thought, spending rises to match it. The car gets upgraded, the phone gets replaced, the home gets bigger, the habits get more expensive, not because life suddenly requires more, but because comfort whispers, you deserve this now. And maybe you do, but here's the danger. When your lifestyle grows faster than your discipline, freedom shrinks. More income should bring more peace, but instead it often brings more pressure. Bigger bills, bigger commitments, less room to breathe. People don't realize they're trapped until they try to step back and discover they can't. Lifestyle inflation doesn't feel irresponsible. It feels normal. Everyone around you is doing it. Social expectations rise with income. Standards shift. What once felt like a luxury now feels like a necessity. And suddenly, earning more hasn't changed your future. It's just made your present more expensive. The goal of money is not to impress others. It's to reduce stress, expand choice, and create margin. Margin is the space where opportunity lives. It's the difference between reacting and deciding. When lifestyle inflation consumes every extra dollar, margin disappears. True financial maturity is learning to separate ability from need. Just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should buy it. Wealth grows when you allow income to rise but keep your core lifestyle stable. That gap, the space between what you earn and what you spend, is where investments, security, and freedom are born. This isn't about deprivation, it's about direction. You don't have to say no forever, you just have to say not yet. Delayed upgrades build accelerated futures. When you learn to control lifestyle inflation, money stops owning you and starts working for you. Get serious about debt, it is not a friend. Debt has been given a friendly image. It's marketed as convenience, as opportunity, as a shortcut to the good life. But debt always comes with a hidden cost. Future pressure. It borrows tomorrow's income to satisfy today's desires and then charges interest for the privilege. The most dangerous thing about debt is how normal it's become. People talk about it casually, they live with it constantly, they accept it as part of life. But just because something is common doesn't mean it's harmless. Debt quietly steals flexibility. It limits options. It turns choices into obligations. Every monthly payment represents money you no longer control. It's income that has already been promised away, and the more payments you carry, the harder it becomes to change direction, take risks, or seize opportunity. You may be earning well and still feel stuck, not because you lack income, but because your income already belongs to someone else. Debt also creates emotional weight. It follows you home. It sits in the back of your mind. It influences decisions even when you don't realize it. People stay in jobs they hate, tolerate situations they shouldn't, and delay dreams they care about, all because the payments must be made. Freedom doesn't come from how much you make. It comes from how little you owe. Reducing debt is one of the fastest ways to feel financially stronger, even without increasing income. Every balance paid down is pressure released. Every obligation removed is flexibility regained. Getting serious about debt means changing how you see it, not as a tool to upgrade your lifestyle, but as a cost to be minimized and managed carefully. It means asking harder questions before committing your future income. Is this worth the years it will take to repay? Is this helping me grow or just helping me cope? When debt is controlled, progress accelerates, cash flow increases, stress decreases, confidence builds, and for the first time, money begins to feel like a resource instead of a restraint. Respect the power of compounding. Time is money's greatest partner. There is a quiet force in the world of money that rewards patience more than brilliance and consistency more than luck. It's called compounding, and it doesn't shout. It works silently, steadily, and relentlessly. Most people underestimate it because it doesn't produce instant results. And that is exactly why it changes lives for those who understand it. Compounding is what happens when your money begins to earn money, and then that money earns more money, and over time, the growth accelerates. At first, progress feels slow, almost disappointing. The numbers barely move. It feels like effort without reward. And this is where most people quit. They stop investing, they stop saving, they stop believing, not because compounding doesn't work, but because patience ran out before the miracle arrived. Time is the secret ingredient. Money invested early has a power that money invested later can never fully match, no matter the amount. A small, consistent investment made over many years can outperform a larger investment made inconsistently or too late. This is why delay is so expensive, not just in dollars, but in opportunity. Every year you wait is a year compounding can never give back. Compounding doesn't just reward money, it rewards behavior. It favors those who show up regularly even when motivation fades, those who stay the course when progress feels invisible, those who trust the process more than their emotions. And over time, something remarkable happens. The curve bends, growth accelerates. What once felt slow begins to feel unstoppable. The tragedy is not that people start with too little. The tragedy is that they never start at all, or they start and stop, or they let fear, doubt, or distraction interrupt consistency. Compounding is not dramatic, but it is powerful. It turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results for those willing to give it time. Develop a money philosophy that guides every decision. Now here is the final and most important fix, because without it, everything else eventually falls apart. You must develop a money philosophy. Money without philosophy disappears. Income without direction creates confusion. Wealth without purpose creates emptiness. A money philosophy is simply a set of beliefs that guide how you earn, spend, save, and invest. It answers the deeper question: why does money matter to me? Is it freedom, security, options, contribution, peace of mind. When you know your why, discipline becomes easier, sacrifice makes sense, delayed gratification feels meaningful. Without a philosophy, people drift financially. They react instead of decide. They follow trends instead of principles. They earn more but feel no safer, spend more but feel no happier. A philosophy gives money a job. It tells every dollar where it belongs. Your philosophy protects you in moments of temptation. When everyone else is chasing status, it reminds you to chase stability. When pressure pushes you to spend, it reminds you of your long-term vision. When fear shows up, it reminds you why you started. Money is a tool, not a measure of self-worth. It's not meant to control you, stress you, or define you. It's meant to support the life you're trying to build. And when your money decisions are guided by clear values, progress becomes predictable. Here's the truth that ties everything together. Your financial future will not be decided by chance. It will be decided by habits, by small decisions repeated daily, by awareness instead of ignorance, discipline instead of impulse, patience instead of urgency. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Start where you are. Use what you have. Fix what you can control. Over time, those fixes compound, financially, emotionally, and mentally. And one day, you'll look back and realize the greatest return on investment wasn't just the money you saved or earned, it was the confidence, freedom, and peace you built along the way.